Well, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. I'm super excited to be on with you today. I have some incredible authors with me, as normal as usual. Y'all know I love to spotlight authors, and today I am spotlighting authors of children's books. And so we're celebrating children and the impact that we hope to have on children everywhere. In the past 8 years, I have been on a tangent, I've been on a soapbox, I've been on a mission, I've been having a movement, all the good things to strive to have children's books out in the literary market. Representation matters, and it's not just based on skin color. I'm finding out that after these past 8 years, it has been more and more about all representation. So, biracial children need to be represented as well as those with either any physical handicaps or any physical deficiencies need to be represented as well. Children of all nationalities. So, if you're interested, of course, if you're interested in publishing a children's book or any type of book, you can always reach out to me and let's have a conversation at talkwithroyston.com. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start it off with my latest book. Oh my goodness, it's something Dr. Nettles and the other authors know that's something I've been dreading, if you can only imagine, as much as I'm addicted to writing. But it's basically something I have really been dreading doing, and I really said, no, I'm not going to do it. And no, I'm not going to do it. And no, I'm not going to do it. And 8 years I've been saying no. But the babies finally, they wore me down. They finally got me. The babies wore me down. So my latest book is Terrence the Terrific, The Experiment Gone Wrong. And so many of you know Terrence the Terrific is a 5 book series that's already been out for many years. But I finally broke down and I did the comic book. And so me and Mr. Royston, he did the images and I did the text. And Dr. Nettles and I always talk about words, and she's the wordsmith. Not I enjoy words, but she really takes it to the next level. And the biggest thing I had problems with was didn't have enough words. Comic book, it's all about the visual. It's all about the picture itself, and that's what the kids love. So that old song, "Give the people what they want." So I gave the people what they want. So it it is available. My backstory is just give the people what they want. That's what they wanted. And there's a elementary school in Atlanta that's waiting on it. And I'm like, y'all better come with y'all money, y'all mama credit card, because y'all know Miss Julia didn't want to do it. But y'all said y'all buy me out. Miss Julia will buy you. Well, you make sure your mama come. So I'm super excited to be with that school. But more importantly, it took me out of my comfort zone. It stretched me in a lot of ways. I mean, as you well know, I've written more than 100 books. So why would the comic book stretch me? So it wasn't my norm. I had to look at everything differently. I had to approach it differently. Yeah, it took me out of my comfort zone. So it is available at the Royston Children Bookstore. I have relaunched my online stores. Whew, that was a feat within itself. I'll talk about more of that at another time at another platform, but Royston Children Bookstore. And be sure and get your copy of Terrence the Terrific, The Experiment Gone Wrong. And of course, the cover says everything. It looks like a massive mess, but we've got a lot of twists and turns and things to relay. And I'm already working on book 2, and I guess it's gonna have to be a series as well. So be on the lookout for that in the future. So I'm super excited about that, and uh, the babies better come through. They made me do it, so the babies better come on through. So, alrighty. So I'm gonna keep moving. We're gonna stay where everybody can be seen. If you're watching us on video, welcome. We'll also be on audio only too as well. So we're gonna have a good time and talking about children's books and all the good stuff. So I want each author to introduce themselves, tell us where you're from. I'm from Indiana, and tell us where we can find us on social media everywhere. And then tell me about your book. And there, most of them have written. Everybody's written more than one book, but I want them to talk about the latest book that they have coming out. And so we're gonna start with. Let's go to Florida first. Let's go to Florida. This is Deborah Thompson.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can
I
you hear me?
can. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay, fabulous. All right, wasn't sure. Well, okay, my name is Deborah Thompson. I go by my author name, which is Deborah A.K. Thompson. I am here in the Riverview, Florida area, which is right outside of Tampa, Florida. And I have written several children's books, and those books are dealing with saving money and becoming money literate, making sure that you set good money goals, learning about budgeting in a fun way. And that's not only something I think that children can use, probably some adults can use that too. But these are the books that I've been writing about. My latest work that I am have completed, it will be out by the end of this month, is my Dollars with Sense coloring book and activity books. So I have an activity book and I also have a coloring book. So the children wanted something to do, and I think it's going to be a good thing for them to just learn to identify money, especially our little ones. And we talk to them about setting their budget goals, setting goals for their money, how they can earn money, what things are good when they're spending their money so that they will know, just teaching them all about money and money responsibility. So that's what we're doing. And I guess I'm going to try to show it. Hopefully, you guys can see it. But it is the Dollars with Sense. I have the activity book, and I also have the new coloring book as well. So
Awesome.
let's go.
Awesome. Awesome. You'll be able to find all of Sister Thompson's books, Ms. Deborah A.K. Thompson, at deborahthewriter.com. Now, I just have to ask, what is one reason why you went with financial literacy? What was the drawing card that you really wanted for financial literacy? Why that? Why
Well,
money?
I think that it is so important because I have grandchildren, and most of like my grandchildren are probably like most other children. They think that money grows on trees. They have no concept sometimes, and they just want to spend it on candy and cookies. But then when it's time to, they're like, "Okay, Grandma, buy me this video game," and the video game is $200. Well, you need to know that that's an expensive gift, and sometimes you need to learn that the value of that dollar, that I don't just have to write a check. That's what my children used to tell me. Well, Mom, all you have to do is write a check.
Just
So
write a check. Oh my God.
write a check, put that credit card there, Mom, or, swipe that credit card. So I think that it's just good for children to understand, where money comes from, that their parents actually have to earn the money that they're spending on groceries, and that they're spending for them to have video games and candy and cookies and new Nike shoes and other things. They need to know that all of those things have a value. And so I started, talking with my grandchildren about it, because my husband was an accountant and he talked to our children about it. So I said, I'm going to keep the tradition going. And I started talking with my grandchildren about.
Awesome, awesome. That is so great because we need to empower the next generation to find all the financial literacy books by Ms. Deborah A.K. Thompson at go to deborahthewriter.com. I'm really striving for those of you who want to support authors to go directly to their website because they want to know who purchased it. You'll be able to get a signed copy of it shipped directly to you. So go to deborahthewriter.com. Thank you so much, Sister Thompson. We're gonna move right along. All righty. Let's head to Michigan. Miss Angie Vergus, go right ahead, love. There you go. Hold on.
I'm excited to be here with everybody. And my book is Abby and Zach Prayed Through the Alphabet. And as a Sunday school teacher for 6 to 8 year olds, that's how my book came into play. Because I felt like a lot of times I would ask them to pray, or do you want to say the prayer this morning? They're like, I don't know what to say. And one girl told me one day, she was like, well, I asked her, what did she like about visiting our church? She was a visitor. And she's like, I like the donuts. So I said, well, you can pray about the donuts. I wanted kids to understand that praying is just as easy as ABC. It doesn't have to be elaborate or anything like that. So I wanted them to feel comfortable learning to pray. And that's how this book came about.
Amy and Zach is really adorable. It's really, really very cute. But I think a lot of times even adults need that. As somebody who's planted churches, and one of the things with moving from a church where, and you know who I'm talking about, no shade to no denomination, but they were raised traditional where the deacon did all the praying. And then now they were moving to more of a charismatic church where everybody was going to pray out loud. Well, that was very, very difficult. It took a lot of time and a lot of practice and a lot of training to be able to know that you didn't have to be ordained to pray, that you didn't have to be with the microphone to pray, that we can stand in threes or stand around in fives, groups, small groups to be able to pray. Because it said men ought to always pray. It didn't say the ordained ones or the bishop was the only one going to do the praying or whatever. Somebody may lead the prayer, but you need to be praying too as well. So I really appreciate that, especially in the Christian ed area or just in your home in general, to be able to have something guidance. And I know there are a lot of hungry children around the world, so donuts would be something I'd be thankful for, and anything else that I definitely would be thankful for. Be sure and donate the book, purchase the book for your home as well. Think about your ministry, your youth ministry, your children's ministry, any of those areas that would really benefit from that, because men ought to always pray. We've got the scripture, but Lord, teach us to pray. Even the disciples said that. So if we have just in the smaller ones to be able to learn how to pray, it's a wonderful, phenomenal thing to be able to learn how to do that and realize that God is concerned about everything. We could pray about the smallest little thing that we think he's not concerned about. The beauty of our God is he is concerned about that. And I love it. I love it. Abby and Zach, be sure and keep, they're very, very cute. Do you have the book?
I do have the book. And they're twins. They're 8-year-old twins, boy and a girl, Abby and Zach.
They pray
Abigail and Zachariah.
So they're adorable. It's a great scene. And one of the other things that not only just I published it, but children, when they open it and see the pictures, they'll be able to identify with things. Oh yeah, I play soccer. Oh yeah, I go outside and play. Oh yeah, that looks like my playground. Oh yeah, I love donuts too. Oh yeah. So that will make the connection as well as having their own personal relationship with God and learning to pray through the alphabet, and hopefully one day learn to pray through the Bible and have their own relationship with God. It's a simple thing. It's not complicated. Some people make it really complicated, but super excited for that. And thank you for that book, Miss Angie Verges. Be sure and go to Angela Verges, VERGES.net, for all the things we don't have all the time to hear all the things. Look for an interview shortly, but she does a multiplicity of things. And be sure and follow her and find out all the good things that she's doing in addition to providing a children's book to help them pray through the alphabet. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, where are we going next? Let's go to Lexington first. Let's go to Lexington.
Hello. Yes. Hi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for the invitation. I am Tasha Dawson and excited to be here tonight. My latest children's book is called God's Masterpiece, and this is what it looks like on the front. And it tells the story about a little girl named Nehemiah and how she is excited to be doing a sewing lesson with her mom. But as she's doing the sewing lesson, she ends up looking out the window at all the things that were outside, the birds, the trees, the people walking past. And she ends up asking her mom, well, who designed and who created all these things? And so her mom begins to tell her, that God is the master tailor and how he designed each and everything that's in the world. Everything has a pattern specifically designed for its function and its purpose. And then she goes on to talk to her about, but the greatest creation that he ever made was her. And he designed her specifically with love and thought and intent. And then at the end of the book, there's actually a space where the child can write their name and also acknowledging that they are a great design too, designed specifically by God. And so the scripture that I referenced in this book is actually in Ephesians, where it talks about we are his workmanship and how he has spent so much love and time, just designing us and creating us with intention and for a purpose. And so how I got the idea for this book, usually when I write books, it's usually by conversations that I have or just things that I'm just going throughout the day and they just kind of stick with me. But this book, I got it because I was talking with one of my friends and she was in college. She was a design major with fashion. She loved fashion. And she just began to say, we were talking about heaven. And she said, I wonder if there's going to be any sewing machine in heaven. And I just started laughing and laughing. I said, girl, that is crazy. And she just started saying, well, I just love fashion so much. I love design. I love to sew. I just can't imagine spending the rest of my time not having a sewing machine. And so when she said that, I said, that could be a book. And so, we kept talking. And as the week progressed, I just went ahead and I just kept thinking about that and thinking about what she said. And that's how the idea for this book came about. But I particularly like writing for girls. My first book was called The Adventures of the Impact Kids. And that talks about a missions trip that I went on. But more and more, I see myself going towards writing specifically for girls, for their self-esteem, writing towards their purpose, and writing towards their empowerment and their faith in Christ. And so my website is theimpactkids.com. And on my website, you can order the books. I have some other things there for sale that you can also order as well. And just looking forward to everything else, all the other books that's coming my way. I'm receiving it.
Yes, ma'am. Come on through. Now, she know I'm gonna come for it. All right. I'm gonna leave you alone. We're not gonna go there tonight, but I'm gonna leave you alone. But congratulations on all that's going on. You've been in my thoughts and prayers on all the major transition going on in your life. But when transition happens on that level, I know that God has something great in store and ahead for you. And so the impactkids.com. Okay, she's had a physical boutique. Now we would switch to e-commerce online. So now you can buy the kids book and then you can buy some kids clothes. You can buy some kids accessories. It's all there. So go to theimpactkids.com. If your kids are growing and you want to empower them not only with something written, but also for something to wear or a purse or a backpack to have, cups, theimpactkids.com. It's there with evangelist Tasha Dawson, and super excited about all that God is doing with her. And that's one of the main things. I'll put a plug in right here. One of the main things that we want children's books to be able to do, to empower, to encourage, inspire, motivate. And even those same little children down there in Atlanta said, Miss Julia, all your books is real positive. I said, you got it, baby. That's exactly what I wanted. I want it to be positive. I want you, after you read anything, not only that I write, anything that I publish, I want you to feel better about yourself. I want you to be learning something new. I want you to be knowing something new, but I want you to feel like you can do it. You can be it. You can have it. You can achieve it. You can go for it and do it. And so therefore, that's the reason why I'm bringing these authors to you. This is just, as my husband says, this is just a small portion. This is just a portion of authors that are out there and available to empower young people for the next generation. And so feel free to, as we continue, we got 2 more to go, to empower you and give you, people will say all the time, I don't know where the new books are. Well, I'm bringing them to you. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know where you can find them. I know you need to find them on social media. You need to locate them so that you can get the materials you need to help inspire and empower your child to go to the next level. All right. Coming up next, there is a doctor in the house.
Hi, everyone. I hate to go behind all of you ladies. Y'all's books sound amazing, and I can't wait to read them. I'm super excited to be on the call tonight. My name is Raven, and I'm currently living in Jeffersonville, Indiana. But I attend the University of Louisville School of Medicine, where I'll be graduating in May. So I'm very excited. I'll be a family medicine doctor. And yes, but I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. So my book is Kareem's Innate Immune Academy. And basically, I, as a young child, have always dreamed very big dreams, and I've always had like other people around me, just like, like kind of be like, oh my gosh, like, are you sure? But I was always someone who like dreamed big dreams, but didn't often see myself in the places that I wanted to be in. So for instance, my dad was like always in the hospital, and I was the person in my family that would like translate medical terminology to my family from like the doctors. And so, but I never really saw many Black doctors, many Black dentists. And so, or scientists, anything of that nature. So I always like felt that was kind of lacking, which leads me into like going to medical school and wanting to change the paradigm of that so that we can have more representation, because we know that Black people live longer with Black doctors. And so anyways, after my first year, going into my second year, I ended up like failing out of medical school. Like, I don't think I knew how to study correctly, because in college I never had to study, high school I never had to study, but medical school was like just a different beast. So I ended up failing out, and I was so down and out about all of this. And I was like, but like, what am I going to do with this time? Because you have to wait an entire year for the class to roll around. And I was like, what can I do? Like, I really am like, I strive off of being busy. And I also like knew that I loved kids, but I was like, I can't talk to anyone about like medicine or anything like that. So one day when I finally decided like I'm not gonna like sit here and cry anymore, I'm literally going to do what I know that I love to do, and that's like connect with kids. And I really feel like when I made that decision in my mind, like immediately God gave me the idea to write a children's book. And I know that it was him because I wrote the book in like an hour, and like made stick figure illustrations. And I can't draw a circle. So I know that it was him when he gave that to me. So anyways, I had the idea, did that. And a lot of like life happened during that time. So I didn't end up getting to like publish it and all of that. But now it's published. Now I'm almost done and I'm on the other side. And so for my book, like I am having all the proceeds go to like making more public school STEM courses that are stronger for kids. And I want to also like do a lot of book readings for kids, just so that they can see that anything they believe in, it doesn't have to be STEM, but anything that they can dream, they can be, and just empowering kids. And I specifically wanted like a Black male character in my book because that's also like a very rare thing outside of just having Black doctors. So to empower them, especially, the character goes to see a Black doctor for the first time. And the last thing I'll say is like, I don't think you should ever. My philosophy for myself is I don't think I should ever be in a conversation with someone and not learn something from them and they learn something from me. So besides him going to the doctor and like learning about what's wrong with him, I also wanted to like teach kids like a little lesson as far as like the immune system, so they could also walk away with that. So that is like my brainchild. I'm very excited about it, and yes, I'm also happy to share more if we have time. But my stuff is on social media. So my Instagram is like at author Raven Cox. And there's a link tree for like you to purchase and read more and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Oh, okay. At author Raven Cox on IG. Okay, so hold on.
Yes,
Let me
ma'am.
put that up there so people can get it in. Well, congratulations. So see, I didn't even know that other part about the whole regrouping. I'm not gonna say failing. I'm gonna say regrouping. Because you're right, medical school, all of that is totally separate than high school. And believe you me, I almost failed English in freshman year because I never had to do it before. You did that? No, I didn't. And and when you just kind of flown through it, A's and B's, and you get what? Hold on, wait a minute, this is hard. Wait a minute, this is difficult. And but what you do is that you regroup, yeah, and then you get back on that. Old folks say you get back on that horse and you keep on going. So I'm super proud. I'm super excited for you and all the children that you're going to impact, and the phenomenal medical practice you're going to have. I'm just speaking all into existence. The
I
phenomenal
appreciate
medical
you.
practice that you're going to have, and all that great stuff that is going to actually have, and all the little girls and all the little boys who walk in and say, "You're my doctor. Oh my God, can I have a hug?" It'll happen. I promise you. It will definitely happen. So super excited and congratulations. Find her on Instagram, author Raven Cox. It was a pleasure working with all the authors, but Raven was like, "Okay, I got a book." Okay, and I'm like, "What is it gonna be?" And we got little characters, and we got, as they said, all the okay. Science was not the horrible lane. I was terrible at science, so I can't really go into all the blood vessels and all the little things that's happened, but they're adorable. They're cute. So special shout out to Mr. Cameron Wilson who made that definitely book come alive. And I'm like, really? He said, "Oh no, we can do that. We can do that. I can put faces on stuff. I can create anything." I was like, "Go on, boy, do your thing." And they the cutest little people. Oh my. So it
You did a great
enables
job.
me to be learn something new, but in a very, very creative, very, very creative way. So be sure and find the future Dr. Raven Cox at author of Raven Cox on Instagram. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to Alabama. Come on through, Dr. Nettles. Woohoo!
How are you?
I'm fine, love. How are you?
Good, good, good. I am glad to be here. I am Vernette Nettles. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. I live in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm from Mobile.
Oh, Lord. She always has to say that.
Of course.
Come
Of
on,
course.
Mobile. Come on, Mobile.
The home of Mardi Gras and all things fabulous.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was I thinking?
Yes. I can be found at VernetteCNettles.com. And also, oh, that's right. Everything is on one website now. My prayer
Isn't that
website,
beautiful?
my books, everything is in one place now. You just have to find, read the drop down box, but everything is in one place. So that's wonderful. I've been a published author since about 2018. Dr. Julia has published several of my books, and this is not my only children's book, but it's my first one. Beautiful Just Like Me. I want you to get a good look at it, because Beautiful Just Like Me is really my story. It's the story of a young girl who is the darkest in her class. She is teased. She goes home and her mother talks to her about the fabulousness of her aunts, their different hues, their different professions, and how everyone is beautiful just like me. And that's so important because we spend a lot of time as children not really always understanding how important we are, how vital we are, and we carry that into our adulthood. And, you know, our parents tell us all the time, oh, you're so pretty, you're so pretty. But sometimes we feel like they just have to say that. And this book is designed to empower our young girls to see that they are beautiful inside and out. It's not about a color. It's not about any particular look. It's about who you are inside. And the thing I like about this book is I read it in an elementary school class, and the students, male and female, talked about how unique and different they were. So they could all relate to this book. And I had one student to stand up and say how she was teased because she was different. The teacher was in tears. The students were angry. They were like, who said it? We're going to get them. We're going to get them. And it was like, it's not about the fight. It's about the feeling, who you are as a person inside. And that's so important. And so my children's books focus on the uniqueness of our children and how special they are and how you learn from that place.
Yeah.
Did I answer all the questions?
Yes, ma'am. You answered all the questions. Thank you very much. So check out all of Dr. Nettles' books at VernetteCNettles.com and register for her daily prayer that she sends out every day, and we're thankful for her. So go to Vernette C. Nettles. Vernette has one T, but Nettles has two T's. So be sure and check that out. In addition to the spotlight of the authors today, that's the most important thing. But in addition to that, those of you that are in real time, this week we celebrate Black Child Book Week. And so that's normally held at the very last week of February each year. I think we're in like the third or fourth year. And so I wanted to have an event or something online to spotlight just a few of the children's book authors, the ones that jumped on and said, count me in, I'm in, I'll come on, etc. So I'm super excited for those that were able to join me this evening, but celebrate the Children's Book Week, period. But especially the Black Child Book Week. I often say this statistic everywhere I go of the children's books published in the U.S. Those with a main African-American character measure about 11% of the children's books published. Though that's the statistic that we have. Now, those independently published like we are or self-published like others, that number is not in there, but I utilize that number just to kind of give us an idea and a perspective. It may be a little bit more. I think we're getting closer to 12 to 13%, but it's still more than 20% have the animals as the main character. Now, we like them. They cute. But children still want to have someone take the time to draw me, to look at it, so you can see me. So whether you have two Afro puffs or hair hanging down your back, or whether you have red hair, whether you have blonde hair, whether you have blue eyes, whether you have green ones, someone took the opportunity and the time. In the U.S., 50% of all children's books still have a Caucasian or a white main character. So therefore, if the African-American children are 12% or nearly 12%, that means all the other diverse groups are even less. And biracial children are less, Native American children, Latino children, special needs children, autistic children, all of that. So they see themselves even less than we do. So therefore, I really encourage you, for representation does matter, and not just based on race, but also being able to show children in different lights so that they can be seen and they can identify. When you see a child in a book that has the headset and the iPad, you know that is kind of the signature representation not all of them, but that's a main standard representation for children with autism, so that they're seen to as well in a very positive light, and not just when they crash out, but also when they're doing phenomenal work, which they do every day. I had an autism unit in my building for 10 years. So I know the wonderful things those children were able to do. So support a children's book author. So purchase a book. I know a lot of people use that out. Oh, my children are all grown. Well, there's some little children that are still little and need your support. So buy one, donate one to a school, the libraries in the area, public libraries, children's school libraries, and libraries everywhere, daycare centers. They need materials as much as possible. They don't necessarily have the budgets for that. So if you can support these authors, donate, share, read, volunteer. They're always going to need volunteers to come in and read to children during library hour, during the classroom time. I'll just put a plug out there. Dr. Nettles and I are definitely retired educators, and we know. And then educate, if you teach in church, you're an educator as well. But we know all about all the support, and especially in the season that we're in now. Now all hands are required, all hands on deck. So super excited about that. What's coming up next? What's coming up that I do, how we do in church? Are there announcements? Yes, there's announcements. Coming up on, first off, on Thursday, social media for authors. So if you are a published author, self-published, and you need help in that area, let's have a conversation. Go to bookbusinessboss.com. That starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in the Montgomery, Alabama area, Mobile, Huntsville, Birmingham, all the surrounding areas, the Montgomery Book Festival and Writing Expo, it's our fifth year doing it. Congratulations to Dr. Vernette Nettles. She is the boots on the ground. She's the spearheader, does all the running around. I just come in at the last minute and be I don't get there till 2 or 3 days before it happens. But she's been working tirelessly for the last few weeks and few months. And I say congratulations in advance, because it's always a successful event. There'll be workshops held. There'll be books there to be sold. There'll be hopefully artwork and illustrators to meet. Woo! It's a lot that happens right there downtown at the Armory Learning Center in downtown Montgomery, Alabama. So I'm super excited and can't wait to be there. So if you're in the area, you're an author, registration is still open, Dr. Nettles, yes?
Yes.
So come on through, go to Vernette C. Nettles. So you can register for the event. You can purchase her books. You can follow her on social media. You can get a prayer sent to you every day and help you pray through life as we know it. Woo!
As we know it.
Snowed in. Jesus is with you, and stay warm and keep the food on the refrigerator. Hello. So I'm super excited for all things, everything literary, because we're having a great impact in the literary market. Super excited for that. I don't know what I would do if I'd have had this many children's books when I was a child. Hey, hello, how are you? Hello, cousin Lisa, how are you, dear? Thank you so much for watching and joining us. Well, hello, Minister, hold on. Hello, Minister, Pastor Marsha Bishop. Welcome. And Miss Velsa, how you doing, love? Thank you so much for joining us tonight and this evening as well. So I'm always super excited for everyone who joins us when I go live, and this is going to continue. You'll all be blessed in everything that you do, and be on the lookout. See, the reason why you have to follow these authors, because they're going to be writing more. I speak that into existence in Jesus' name. They're going to be writing more, so you need to know what the new books that are coming out and be able to support the books that they already have. So with that being said, all minds clear. Anybody else have any announcements real fast? Going once, going twice. All right. I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. Be blessed. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.